Good evening and welcome to Self-Discovery Revelations with Bristle Up. This is on Voice of Self-Discovery podcast every Friday at 9 p.m. on YouTube and all social media handles. It is my desire and goal that as you listen, you grow in the knowledge of who you are as a person, become more aware of your God-given power to live life to its fullest, and learn to discover the highest, truest expression of yourself. Continuing the series on mind optimization, today I'm sharing some insight on how to become a better thinker. Albert Einstein said, "The world as we have created it is a process of our thinking. We cannot change it unless we change our thinking. Likewise, we cannot change ourselves unless we change our thinking." Why change in this context involves growth and transformation. So to become a better person, one who experiences continuous self-improvement, you need to become a better thinker. Better versions of ourselves will be realized with better thinking. So think of the mind as fire to be kindled, and you would be in constant search of ways to utilize, stretch, and optimize it. It's important to train our minds to think and constantly improve our thinking. So today's episode, like I earlier said, is focused on practical steps to becoming a better thinker. I'm convinced that these guidelines will help you become a better thinker as they have helped me. Firstly, whenever you attempt to use your mind to make sense of anything, try and look at the bigger picture. Look at things beyond what is immediately apparent, beyond what is obvious. Let's learn from the everyday activity of driving. When driving, you look ahead and then also use the rear view mirror and the side mirrors in all your decisions on the road. Imagine not looking ahead nor using your mirrors and focusing your eyes on one tiny sticker on the windshield. You will sure fall into a ditch, miss a turn, or worse, get an accident. Similarly, in thinking, we need to train ourselves to think both in detail and in scope. That is what I mean by bigger picture thinking. Sizing up situations by taking into account all or as many variables pertaining to that situation. This brings wholeness and maturity to your thinking, allowing you to effectively lead yourself and others by seeing what others see, the way they see it, and not just what you see and how you see it. So you realize that anybody who focuses on bigger picture thinking in any discussion leaves the discussion table learning something they didn't know before. For people who cultivate bigger picture thinking, life is not a win or lose game, but a continuous learning process where they listen intentionally, they look expansively, and ultimately they live completely. So if you want to lead, whether yourself or others, you need to cultivate bigger picture thinking. It will help you see before other people do, help you see what other people do not see. It would help you size up situations taking into account all or as many variables. And you will also be able to better understand how the past connects with the future to make your life journey more meaningful, and also more importantly, when the time is right to take action, you will know it. The second thing that would help you think better is this. When you get an idea, engage in what I call focused thinking. Invest mental energy into that one thing or idea as if it is the only thing that matters in the world. This means you need to set time for focused thinking. During this time, you determine your priorities, you think about an idea you have, your dream for life or vision for the year, but simply focus on one thing, one idea, one goal, one priority, one vision. Set time to think about that one thing that is important to you, one thing you want to accomplish, one thing you dream about, just one thing. But here's one thing to take note of. You cannot make time for focused thinking unless you remove distractions. So you need to insulate yourself from distractions by making yourself unavailable to the people and things that distract you when you need to, so that you can think without interruptions. That said, you need discipline to practice focused thinking. You should be able to not check your emails during your focused thinking time, stay away from phone notifications during your focused thinking time. One trick that helps me personally do focused thinking is to keep my priorities in sight. So you'd find me always taking notes on my desk to remind me of things I want to think about or things I want my mind to focus on. Better thinking requires focused thinking, and it will take you to the next level. So my question to you is, what are you giving up to go up? You can't know everybody, you can't do everything, you can't go everywhere, and you can't be everything. So the earlier you focus your mind, the better for your personal progress. Are you ready to remove distractions from your life and give your mind the clarity to think about the things most important to your growth and progress? Well, the choice is yours. The third thing that would help you become a better thinker is to harness the creative power of the mind. Annette Moser-Wellman, author of The 5 Phases of Genius, asserts that the most valuable resource you bring to your work or firm is your creativity. And I believe it is no different with our lives. Phrases like, I am not a creative person. We just need to follow the rules. Don't do anything different. Stay within the lines. There is only one way to do it. It's never been done that way. Don't risk it. These phrases will kill your creativity. Don't use them, and try not to spend a lot of time with people who use them. They are creativity killers. Rather, I'll challenge you to stretch your mind to think better by asking questions like, why must it be done this way? What is the root problem? What are the underlying issues? Why is it important? Who has a different perspective on this? What happens if we do it this way or that way? These are the questions that would harness the creative power of your mind. These are the questions you should be asking. Finally, get out of your own box. What do I mean by this? Our experiences and reality have a way of shaping our thinking, but it is important to recognize that these are limits, and we need to constantly stretch our mind to break out of the box of our own history and personal limitations to think more widely, break our own records, challenge the facts we have formed, think more holistically and more freely. I recommend you travel to new places. It could be new places within your country, not necessarily a different country. You should explore other cultures. You can explore other countries and traditions as well. Find out how people who are different from you think and live. If you cannot do this, read widely, read on new subjects, not necessarily the subjects that interest you every day, but go further, read broadly to broaden your perspective about life in general, the issues therein, and your uniqueness and role as an individual in all of it, as well as the relatedness. I believe that as you cultivate bigger picture thinking, as you engage in focused thinking, and as you harness the power of creative thinking, you will become a better thinker. Good thinkers are in demand, and better thinkers are in higher demand. So help yourself and become a better thinker. My name is Priscilla Appiah. Call me Priscilla App, voice of self-discovery. I owe all the knowledge shared in this episode to John C. Maxwell. I've read his book, How Successful People Think, and what I've shared are insights he shared in his book that have worked for me personally, and I'm convinced it would work for you too. Join me next Friday at 9 p.m. for more insights. You matter to me.